Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Sunday, May 17th, and I want to give you some updates and guidance on the final exam. But first, I want to mention your ops design briefings. Every single group turned in their ops design briefing by 4:30 on Friday, which was great. So thank you for the effort, and they all look pretty good at the initial glance. However, I've not taken any time to grade those yet. I want to be very honest with you guys. I needed a break just like you guys. So I've taken this weekend to unwind a little bit, spend some time with the family, and I've not even begun to grade those yet. So my hope is to get those done on Monday and have scores back to you by Monday evening. But in any case, that should not influence your preparation for the final exam, which will be held on Tuesday. So some guidance on this exam. So I've got the questions right here. Again, there's 4 questions. It'll be administered on Blackboard. I will provide guidance on the Teams page on exactly what to do. Again, sometime on Tuesday between 7:30 and 4:30 Mountain Time, you'll need to log into Blackboard. You'll have an hour and 53 minutes. The international students and ESL students will have double that, but you will be granted almost 2 hours to complete the exam to answer all 4 questions. Each question's the desired response length is 250 to 350 words. I provided the entire rubric. It's been posted on the files section of the Teams page. So if you look in the file section and look for the final exam rubric, you'll be able to see exactly what we will be grading on. The key objectives are clean integration of MSS course content, stick to the word count, which requires you to be concise and precise, and then make sure it makes sense and is logical. So among those 4 questions, the things I would consider if I were you studying and focusing your effort on. Again, we're going to be examining kind of the operational design briefing that you guys all work towards, and every question will be focused on that ops design brief, whether it's how the national end states and guidance provided some input on how you went forward in your planning efforts, the value of the lines of effort and what they contributed to the ops design model you had, how air power played in that, what the domains meant, airspace, cyber, what was most relevant, how would you capture the lessons learned from all of those, and what implementation or what things did you implement from the joint force. So that kind of stuff. And lastly, kind of the what kind of theorists influenced what you did. So make sure you freshen up your thoughts on the theorists we talked about in class. That's a number of lessons in there. John Warden, Clausewitz, Sun Tzu, Liddell Hart, John Boyd, the OODA loop, all those things. What kind of influence did that have? Make sure you understand where you came from. Be able to explain why you did the things you did based upon the guidance you used. The more intelligently you can speak to your involvement in the ops design process, the better you'll do on this exam. Moreover, you should be able to integrate concepts, specific concepts that we discussed in class. For example, it's not enough to just say we use the Marines to do X, Y, and Z. I'd rather see a response that says we use the Marines in this capacity, a MEU, a MEF, a MEB, to bring forward these capabilities, the 60 days of sustainment, the amphibious landing capabilities, etc. They could serve as a joint force headquarters. Those are the kind of very specific things I'm looking for in your responses. These are all independently graded. When I do grade these GR questions, I will be grading them what they call in the blind. So I will not see the names, I will just see the response, and I will grade them accordingly to the rubric. Therefore, I won't have any bias in my responses. So just because you think I don't like you, perhaps, it will not influence how I grade you at all. I'm going to be as objective as possible. Hopefully you reviewed my most recent video that I published from the Terrazzo up at the Air Force Academy, just to remind you of the integrity of this class. It is open note, open book, but the more familiar you are with the concepts now, the better off you'll be, because you will not have much time across an hour and 53 minutes to answer 4 questions at 300 words each. And it's going to be about a page or so worth of information for each thing. Last thing, you will be able to use Microsoft Word to type up your response. That's what I'd recommend you doing. That way you can get an adequate word count. It'll correct your spelling. It'll notify you of grammar errors perhaps, and then you will take that, cut and paste it into Blackboard. It should be very crystal clear, very cut and dry, and very obvious what to do once you get to the Blackboard page on Tuesday. So again, big takeaways. Tuesday, anytime during the day, 7:30 to 4:30, you can log into Blackboard, take the final exam. It'll be located on the left-hand column of Blackboard, listed final exam. You'll have almost 2 hours to complete the exam, 4 questions, 250 to 350 words each, and make sure you're familiar with the content. I'll post another video after the exam to give you some final guidance for lesson 40. But in the meantime, please chat if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help if I can. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed your weekend as much as I did.